podcast with Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. My name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Welcome to the show, everybody. This is season 7, episode 37, episode number 307. How is it going?
It's good. You know what I would really love, though, someday is because I'm not always looking at the outline, so I don't always like numbers. It's like numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not always like registering if you're saying the right numbers unless I happen to be looking at it. And I would love sometime just for them to be the wrong numbers and for a listener to actually chime in and be like, hey, it was actually episode 307. A girl can hope.
A girl can hope. But, you know, there's always editing out in post if nobody.
That's true. I try and limit my looking at the outline because it's like then I have to toggle between screens and I'm not looking at you lovely ladies. And that's what I prefer to be looking at.
Thank you. That's fair.
Yeah.
Belated happy Easter, happy Passover. Is it Ramadan? Happy Ramadan. Happy all the things to all the people.
Yes. Whatever you celebrate, we wish you a happy of it.
And also if you don't. I had this weird moment at choir yesterday where it was like we were wished that everyone had a happy Easter in such a way that just really assumed that everyone celebrated. It's just like,
well, I mean, it is through a church.
I am in the South, yes.
But your choir is through a church, so
it's
there
not
is
through
that.
A church.
That's just where you rehearse.
There.
Just where we rehearse. Yeah, it is not through a church, and not everyone's Christian. But hey, anyway, it was
Yeah, good times. And early happy birthday to Eden, who turns 2 tomorrow as we're recording this. How does it feel to be the mom of a 2-year-old?
It's a trip, man. It's something about the second year went by a lot faster than the first year.
You're sleeping more.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely. I don't know if that's the reason. I mean, that is yes. I am absolutely.
You're not experiencing all of the days, all of the time.
But it's and also maybe just because it's like life is just so like back to normal in so many ways. You know, it's like the pandemic is like officially over and like we're all back into like a normal or some semblance of a normal routine.
Yeah.
So like I feel like once you are in a routine, life feels a little like the pace of life feels a little quicker because it's like
fewer new things. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was very fast. And like the past couple of weeks, she's just been like exploding with like things she can do and say and think. And it's, it's like, feels like a very good time, but it's also like, and I'm sure I'm not saying anything groundbreaking. Like every parent has experienced this, but like my personal journey, it's, this is all wonderful. I love this phase that she's entering into, but it's also like you're mourning a little bit that like you officially do not have a baby anymore.
Oh,
I keep catching myself when I'm like, oh, is baby ready to go just do this thing? It's like, nope, big girl. Like you are not a baby anymore. And like, I need to correct the language too. And it's like, it's right. And it's good. And but yeah, like there is a little bit of a mourning of that phase of life being over because it's as quick as everyone says it's going to be.
Yeah, it is. But then you just get, I mean, you know this, you get into new phases. I mean, you got the email today that Alex is taking his graduation pictures on May 1st.
Whoa.
Ooh. We want to talk about a phase of life being over. The fucking phase where you stop paying for daycare.
That's when you celebrate. that is an exciting moment.
Like,
what are you going to do with that extra money?
So much because they actually raised their rates for the 3rd time in the last year.
That should be illegal, just saying.
So their whole thing was like inflation has brought up the cost of foods and stuff, but we'll get to that. So
also
3 times in a year,
right? But
like,
are the teachers
supposed
being
to be
paid
a limit?
Are the teachers being paid a livable wage?
Let me get. This is actually a very quick story. So
where's that extra money going to?
Let me give you some context. So when we paid for the infant room, which is supposed to be the most expensive room because the ratio was the lowest or whatever, it was $1,550. And now we are paying for the pre-K room $1,535, which means we are paying the same amount that we paid when they started. For context, when Zachary was in the pre-K room, it was $1,000 something per month. Now we only paid $950 because we got a 10% discount because Alex started. So I don't know what the exact rate was of it. But it was around like $1,000 something. So we're actually paying $500 more than we paid for Zachary to be in the same room,
which is like 50%, right? That's like,
which is a lot of money.
That's a lot. And I'm sorry, did wages go up 50% in that?
Well, that's the thing. So it's also a little stressful because right now I'm not getting a paycheck. So I'm like, this is very stressful. But at least it's only 2 months of it because it goes into effect the April billing cycle. So we'll pay for, or the May billing cycle, which is starts in April. So for May and June. And then so many of the parents, because we have this group text, and the second she sent out the email, I sent a text and I was like, holy shit, guys, did you see the email? And everybody had already seen it. Let me see if I could pull up the text, because that was the exact same thing. Primrose, here it is, class of 22, which it's not 22, it's class of 23, but whatever, we're very great. I said, Lordy, that price increase, I wish that they put into effect after graduation. And one of the other moms in the class says, right, I emailed the director to ask if this meant that the teachers would be getting an increase in their hourly pay. They're only making $16 an hour right now, which is criminal, all caps, in my mind.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to, and I told them all this and got a lot of like hearts on my message and agreements. So every day we're supposed to get pictures and like a report telling us what they learned. They barely send pictures. Maybe we get them once a week or twice a week if we're lucky. And we don't get the reports like, personalized anymore. It's just like the generic one. They don't like fill in it or do whatever. So I said, I want to be cat and respond and ask if that would include daily pictures and non-generic reports, since we're supposed to be getting those and they stopped this year.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, I guess the instructor said that they updated salaries in October 2022, which our last raise increase was September 2022. So I guess they said that they did that. They increased some of them by $3 to $5 an hour, which means they were making like, the minimum wage probably.
Right.
Blah,
but also
blah,
is that like taking into account like benefits that get taken out? So it's like
they don't
literally
get benefits. I know they don't get benefits.
Cool. So they don't get health insurance, or
I don't think so. And maybe they do now. But my sister-in-law actually, back when Zachary was in the 2-year-old room, Alex was in the 2-year-old room, she applied. She was applying to different jobs, and she applied to that one and went for an interview there. And I think the starting salary was 13, 14, something like that. It wasn't enough. So she obviously didn't take it. She was impressed with the school, though. She was like, wow, this is the nicest daycare that I have interviewed at thus far. But, she also noted, I think she had mentioned that they didn't offer benefits. But again, I don't remember specifically. That was now 3 years ago at this point. But it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't.
It's such a broken system. It's like parents can't afford to pay it and teachers can't afford to live.
And it's such a shame because it's so good for them to like, obviously not all kid is the same. Some kids have overstimulation issues and there's a variety of different things, but I feel like the overwhelming majority of children do benefit from being in a preschool, pre-K daycare situation, even if it's a half day a week, even if it's partial. Like, I don't know. I feel like but that's
no, and you're correct though. There are studies that like corroborate that. I believe that was it the Daily? Somebody did a deep dive into like the system of daycare, and like because there was some bill that was like on the floor about like trying to like subsidize it. And
Elizabeth Warren's bill, right?
I think it's like this was a while ago, so I'm very very fuzzy on the details. So please, if anyone listening like knows the specifics, please come correct me.
I believe it was something to do with universal pre-K or subsidizing daycares, so that way they could accept more more students, because also that's a hindrance to people working. So if you want to solve the worker issue that nobody wants to work anymore, blah, 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 then you have to look at it from a 360 perspective.
Right. But it was just like, it was just fascinating to like see just how broken the system is. Like, it's not working for anybody. It's not working for the teachers. It's not working for the owners of these schools. It is not working for the parents. It's such a necessity.
Yep. It sounds like a very John Oliver thing to investigate.
Right. It was definitely a podcast. So it wasn't John Oliver.
Okay.
It was definitely a podcast. It was definitely in my ears, not in front of my face. I wasn't seeing it. I was hearing it.
Yeah. Although I heard John Oliver went after HOAs this week, and I'm excited to watch it since Jay was at our HOA board meeting tonight over Zoom on his phone at Zachary's baseball practice.
Nice.
But anyway, good times. Phases of life.
Yeah. Well, but if it makes you feel better, I still pay more than that for our daycare.
It doesn't make me feel better. Because I'm sorry.
You're like, oh, I'm like $15.50. That's actually not so bad.
That's what people are going to be saying when they're starting the infant room now and getting up to the pre-K room, because I'm sure it's like $1,800 a month. I can't even imagine how much it is for the infant room.
Yeah.
But
also, it's like the cost of living in New York City is considerably higher. So like, what my dollars are worth less than your dollars. So probably pound for pound, you probably do pay more than I do.
Yeah.
When you factor in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you having a birthday party for Eden?
We are. We're having a birthday party at the playground on Saturday. So I'll give a full report next week.
Aww.
Yeah, because this daycare is off this week for spring break because we go to a smaller daycare. The only way that the teachers get time off is if they close the daycare down. So our daycare follows the New York City public school calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So it's spring break for everybody.
Nice.
So she doesn't get to I don't think she'll have like a school birthday party. So we're going to do a little thing at the park, whatever of her daycare friends that are still in town can kind of join. And we have some of our friends and our friends who have kids that are kind of coming in. And so hopefully it should be fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I hope it all goes well. I can't wait to see pictures.
Well, bedtime certainly is not going well. We've got a real birthday, some real birthday blues happening.
Oh.
So we'll see.
Yeah. She's just excited.
Yeah, she's just mourning the
loss of her ones.
Yeah, the loss of her youth. The end of her youth. Paradise Lost.
Speaking of next week, we will be talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes. I still have to watch it, but I promise I will.
Yeah.
I have to rewatch it.
I'm going to rewatch it a third time. I'm very excited. I'm holding out. Mandy had messaged me. She's like, did you reread Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret yet? And I was like, no, it's going to take me like an hour and a half. I'm going to wait until an hour before I see the movie.
I located it on my bookshelf. So that was half the battle. So we're ready to go.
I do have to procure the book. I think I'm going to get a library card. And
Yes.
I think I'm going to do that.
Definitely. Always get a library card.
Well, I used to have one, and then it's like it's expired. So it's like the last time I tried to get it renewed, the librarian was clearly like overburdened and was like, "Oh, just use that computer over there to sign up." And I couldn't figure it out, and I didn't want to trouble her, so I just left.
I signed up.
So I need to go back and try again.
That's so sad. Hopefully, you'll be helped by a librarian this time who's a little more enthusiastic about
it just
getting library cards.
It's
like
very busy.
Part of the job description.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just having a stressful day.
Yeah. It seemed like it was a busy day at the library.
Well, I still need to watch Everything Everywhere
Which is good.
All at Once. But I got a little bit distracted because we started watching Succession. Just, a couple years. Okay, no spoilers because we're in season 1. Yes,
oh, you are on a journey. Oh my goodness. I just can't wait to relive this through your eyes.
It's so funny because I see all these headlines right now in the news.
We're gonna
this week was a doozy. This week's
Oh,
episode
man.
was a doozy.
Okay,
They're all
so-
doozies, but like doozy.
I admit that I'm
Oh.
spoiled on this week's episode because I was driving back. We were driving back from New York, and I needed something to read, and that popped up. However, it did. Getting spoiled on that inspired me to be like, I really got to go and watch this show. So I'm rewatching
Wait,
Star Wars
You got
Rebels.
spoiled.
No one else-
Not even watching?
Nobody else has watched the show but me.
It just felt like I don't
We-
know.
We started the first episode. We got like halfway through, and then we kind of both fell asleep, and then we just never went back. And then there went to a point where we were like, "Oh, it's ending soon, so maybe we'll just wait." But then again, I clicked on I think it was a Hollywood Reporter article that was on the news app on my phone because everybody on Twitter was like, "Greatest hour of TV ever! Holy moly, what a blah, blah." And I was like, "Well, now I gotta know because maybe surely whatever happens, I'll forget about in 3 years when I catch
Well,
up."
don't tell
And
me
then I was
because I
like,
won't
be
"Oh,
three-
I'm not gonna
it won't be
forget
3
about
years.
this."
It's not going to be 3 years. It's like
Yeah.
because we sort of started it just out of curiosity. I think we started in the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's home. It's like you got free time, and then it's like by 4 episodes in, it's like, do you want to watch another
Yeah.
one? Do you wanna
Yeah,
watch
It's
another
good,
one?
so
Kinda
it's
where
good.
we're at.
It
I'm
really-
kinda
it really
are we
grabs
really
you.
podcasting tonight? Because
Yeah.
could be watching an episode of. No, just kidding. But
We'll be fast. We'll be quick.
no, just totally kidding. And also after the podcast, I'm going straight to bed. but we did watch an episode last night. We'll probably watch an episode tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we
We're
caught up
towards
on-
the end. I think we have 2 more episodes in season 1.
Oh,
kind of-
wow.
It's
That's
like
the nice thing
it's
about
like
prestige television. It's quick
quick long
season.
episodes, but only 10 of them. Yeah. It's definitely it's like Game of Thrones meets The Crown.
Yeah,
I like it.
That makes
but
sense.
funnier. I feel like there's some solid humor. Like
There is some solid humor.
there's some
Yes.
thinking man's jokes.
Yes. And I just have to say, the Culkin brother.
Oh,
it just
Rory Culkin.
warms my heart to see
That
him.
was the dude that peed his pants
Fuller.
all along, right?
Oh. Yeah, I was like in. And the actress who plays Shiv is just like so breathtakingly beautiful.
Yeah.
That's also just like, yeah. It's the whole series is beautiful to look at.
Yeah. Well, and Shiv's so Tom, the actor was Mr. Darcy in like Keira Knightley's Pride and Prejudice.
Oh.
So it's like
really?
talk about range. Like the character he
Yeah.
plays on Succession is so different, but like in certain scenes I just sit there and I think about like the scene with them in the field and he's like, "You've captured me heart and soul, or body and soul," or whatever it is, and you're like, that guy.
Wow. Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's wild. Oh wow.
Oh, you guys are
Oh.
in for such a wonderful journey. I'm so excited for you.
Well,
I'm
I'll let you know when
excited
we
too.
catch up. But
Yes.
we're
I-
definitely chugging along.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about it.
I'm excited to talk about it too. I'm excited to catch up. I started rewatching Star Wars Rebels because the Ahsoka show is coming out, but maybe I've already seen that, so maybe I'll just have to put this on pause and move over to the big kid shows.
Yeah. Move on over. I need to put a pin in it one of these days and watch Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Really wish it would have been on that flight. Just really fucking wish that
That's okay. You want to watch
it was on the magazine, but it was not on the flight.
magazine.
God damn it.
Yeah, no, you want to watch it like without distraction and blah blah blah. It's really good. So, but anyway, before we move on, does anybody else have anything?
Now I just have the Succession theme song in my head, which is also such an enjoyable part of the show. The music is so good, and they do such a
Okay.
good job of weaving it into the episodes. It's so good.
Okay, now
Sorry.
you're gonna be excited.
As you should be. It's just like it's well
it's great
made,
to have a good,
it's
yeah,
well
one of these
written,
good
well
shows.
acted. Like
Yeah.
it's just. It doesn't seem like it would be enjoyable television because it's like just about
Nice.
these like horrible rich
people.
white people.
Yeah.
Like it just seems
Yeah.
like it should not be something we are all collectively society.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just so well done. It's great. It's
Yeah.
not something for everybody.
Okay, so moving on, I am going to give you a choice. You ready?
Yes.
So they're all Ask Reddits.
Oh boy.
Do it.
Okay. The first one is what was discontinued that you now miss like hell?
Ooh, fun.
Second one is the second one is actually a Twitter thread, but it was Twitter users recount the dumbest ways they've injured themselves. And finally, the third choice is Millennials. What skill did you acquire in the 90s that you no longer use?
Oh, I kind of like that one.
I like that one too.
I could they're all evergreen, so I could put a pin in the other two and go with the third one.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes.
Okay. Here is some of them. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Memorizing phone numbers. Now everyone just saves their contacts on their phone.
I still remember. I mean, I'm sure you guys do too, but like, certain numbers.
Yes, none of them are useful anymore. My grandmother's number, who's no longer alive. My parents' number. Funny story. So my parents' home phone number, which my entire life, that was their home phone number. When they switched cable providers or they gave up cable or something, the cable provider kept their effing phone number and wouldn't give it back. Like,
are you kidding me?
But like here's the kicker. They came to that cable provider already with the phone number. Like it had been their phone number for like,
I'm not okay with this.
That is so
the 35 years they have lived in the house that they currently reside in.
And now they have a different phone number?
So they just gave up their landline. They're like, well, fuck you.
Oh,
we can't take our phone number. We're just getting rid
That's what I would do too.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody calls it anymore anyway. So I'm like really screwed. Like I barely know my own phone number. Like I don't know
Daniel's.
No, I don't.
Seriously?
I don't. I've tried. I've
You
tried
should
to memorize it. I can't do it.
Okay, here's what you do. I mean, it would Frank and I got our phones at the same time. And so our number is exactly the same, except the last digit is one off.
Oh, see, that was my family.
Ours are totally different. Different area codes are just completely different.
So I'm saying if somebody wants to give up their area code, you could just get new.
But no, I can't. Terrible. A new number.
Jay has a very easy number.
I would never give up my number.
Yeah, I would never give mine up either because I've had mine since 2001, as we've said before.
Yes,
Jay has a very easy number to remember. His mom's is actually only 2 digits off from his, so hers is easy to remember. I don't know Jack's. I know my parents. I know my mom's. I think I know my one sister. Obviously, I know my grandparents. Yeah, and I remember random friends from growing up from when I would dial the number.
Yeah, which they probably don't have anymore because their cable company took it away.
Yep, exactly. I know nobody's number. I literally think about, like, this is one of the anxieties I have when I'm, like, driving in my car. I'm like, what if something terrible happens and, like, my phone breaks? I'm gonna be like Jane Doe because I can't. I don't know anybody's number.
You gotta work on Daniel's.
It's gonna like tattoo to my body or something.
Just put it in your.
Just like the little kid that's like, got like their mom's phone number or address like magic markered on their arm.
Yeah.
Well, you know that you could do the emergency thing in your phone, right? Where
I should do that.
Yeah. I have that all set up. Jay and Zachary know my phone number, but
that's good.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is something that I was just talking about the other day, actually. T9 texting.
Oh God, yes. Those were the days.
I don't miss
that was a skill. That was a skill.
Yeah, don't miss it. Definitely don't miss it.
Good riddance.
I had to do something recently, and I had to use the T9 format. I can't remember what it was.
Were you in a time machine?
No. It was, I can't even remember. I think I had to sign in to like the Nintendo Switch or something.
Oh, shit.
And Jay was like, yeah, it's T9. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Who uses T9 still?
Hey, so your skill came in handy.
It did.
Once.
Yeah, one time in the last 12 years, 20 years, 15 years.
I have a friend who just like refuses to go smartphone and he still has a flip phone.
Does he still T9?
Pretty sure. I mean, I'm sure probably.
Wow.
And you know what? I am like so 100% with him in spirit, but it's really hard to not have a smartphone in practice.
Yeah.
In that respect.
The next one is, I feel like this is a gimme, but burning CDs. That's definitely a skill I no longer use, but definitely acquired it in the 90s.
Yeah.
Memorizing TV channels, so I knew what to look for on the TV guide channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still will refer to things by the Long Island channels they were on when I grew up, but I don't have cable, and I don't even think they were the same when I did have cable in Raleigh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
probably not.
now I'm like, the Fox 5 app. Let's see. Using word art and clip art to make documents more visually interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I used clip art, but yeah.
No.
Oh my God, this next one. Do you remember this one? I don't remember what it was called, but this ski game where the Yeti eats you eventually. Remember the game where you would the ski game and you had to it was on the old computers and you'd ski down and then eventually if you crash into a tree or something like a Yeti or something would come out and eat you.
I don't
No.
think I ever played that one.
Somebody out there listening right now remembers that. I remember that game. Oh my God. I never got good enough at it to not get eaten by the Yeti. Let's see. Using a pencil to roll the tape back into the cassette after it got chewed up by the pitch roller.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Let's see. I don't know. Okay, here's one. Mine is how to clean a mouse ball, like the old computer mouse, not a testicle. A lot of people apparently had no idea the reason that their mouse would drag is because the ball was covered in gunk and you had to take it out and clean it from time to time.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I learned that later in mouse life, but yeah. How to keep my Tamagotchi alive. Also a subject in this household lately because my children are obsessed with that 90s kids song. So
Nice.
How to program the VCR to stop and start recording a show at a predetermined time. I don't think I remember that skill.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever knew that.
I don't know if our VCR did. We had a very old VCR, even by VCR standards.
Yeah.
Mine did because I used to set it to record General Hospital or whatever before I got home from school. But I could not tell you how to do that now. Let's see. Speaking of recording the top 40 songs off the radio onto cassette.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a real skill.
That was a real skill. Blowing on video game cartridges to make them work.
Yes.
How to smack pogs with the slammer just right.
Yep.
Never had pogs. I missed that one.
We recently pulled out, within the last year, we pulled out Jay's old pogs to show the kids what pogs in the slammer game was. Mm-hmm. They were into it for 10 seconds and then that was it.
That feels fair.
Just about how long the pog lasted.
Yeah, pretty much.
To accrue huge towers and cardboard discs and then it was over.
I think that's probably why I missed it.
Probably.
Yeah. It was very brief. It was
supposed
6 weeks in the 6th grade and then it was over.
Yeah. It always takes me a little extra time to jump on a bandwagon. So if that wagon's going too fast,
I think it was supposed to be the millennial answer to playing jacks, but it didn't.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of the same principle in a way. I mean, it wasn't the same game, but
never learned it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. What do we got?
Remember what my slammers looked like?
I know I have mine at my parents', although they might be here too. Update to what we were talking about last week where I said I created a magazine as a child. So it was so funny. I remembered it while we were driving back and then I kind of forgot about it. And the next day after I got there at Easter dinner, my great aunt hands me a folder. She's like, I was cleaning out my stuff and I found all this stuff I thought you might want back. And it was one of the issues of the magazine that I made out of my Barbie dolls. Amazing. And I freaking lost it. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. And then along with this family newsletter that I kept up for a little while too.
I love it. I love it.
So
insane.
Good.
I could not believe that though. She pulled it out. So my mom looked for a little bit after we got home on Easter, and she believes now that they are actually in the closet behind me. She thinks that they might have been stuck with a bunch of stuff that she sent down when we first moved into this house that I just never got through. So I keep meaning I got to go do that. But Yeah, it was you guys. So you guys have now seen a picture that this existed. I was
pretty cool.
creative once
And
upon
it's
a time.
amazing.
It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
Okay, finishing up real quick. Using an encyclopedia and a dictionary when writing papers.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Dewey Decimal System.
Yes, the Dewey Decimal System.
It's still alive and kicking.
Is it?
Yeah, we
That's
just
the
don't
public
use
library
it
when
at
you
the
get
public
your
library.
when you
Okay,
get your when you get your library card.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
I
Or like,
actually
do you remember when you had to do research on like note cards and you had to like dictate like the proper notation for your bibliography?
to do the footnotes and the bibliography and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I can't even remember the terminology. That's
Your works cited.
yes. I
Yes.
just
Yeah.
remember that it was a very specific way that you had to fill out the note card, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Like so
reading-
many things in the late 90s. It's like you learned it, and then it's like 2 years later, it literally
To be
became
fair,
obsolete.
No, that's still going. So you just don't note it on a note card, but you still have to, include it in your papers.
Yeah.
As many students just don't, or don't correctly. Just saying.
Yeah.
As a side note, kids these days.
Oh,
Huzzah! American education.
woo! Oh, hey, did you guys learn the 50 Nifty United States song? Where you sang all the states in order?
No.
50 Nifty United States from 13 original colonies.
Yes, it was a Schoolhouse Rock.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut. That's the one.
Yeah,
I've heard it, but I never knew it.
Yeah.
So we had to learn it in school and sing it.
Good. Yeah.
And my mom was telling my children were at my mom's house my parents' house last week. And when Jay and I got there at dinner that night that we got there, my mom was like, "Do you remember this 50 Nifty song?" And I was like, "Yes." And I guess she was trying to teach Alex how to spell his middle and last names because he knows how to spell his first name. And she was using like sing song with it.
Mhm.
And she was like, your mom and her sisters know to say all the 50 states in alphabetical order because of a song. So then my sister Christy, I guess that morning, day before, had burst into the song. So they asked me, and then Christy and I then sang it at the dinner table in perfect unison. But singing works. It works.
Yeah.
Moving on from singing, reading paper maps. I remember we used to get places in college and we'd have to like print out MapQuest.
Mm-hmm.
This blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Honestly, I don't know how people did it. Mostly for like driving. I think about this all the time. Anytime I have to drive somewhere like on like a highway, it's like, how do people, that's to your point, Amanda, it's like stressful enough as it is. And then if you have to figure out actually where to go, I just I can't wrap my head around it.
Yep. Yeah. Going into senior of college, I interned at a radio station, and actually directly after graduating, I feel like too, before like GPS was really like baked into your phone. And that's when we were going to like street team events, like you would have to just log into the computer at the radio station, like print off a MapQuest of where you were going, hand it to your intern, or like if you were the intern, you would sit shotgun and you would like do the GPS and like, okay, MapQuest says to like, we're looking for exit.
Well, and the craziest is even before MapQuest existed.
Did your parents have the map books?
No,
we
didn't
have
really go
like
places.
We still
Okay,
have
my
we have
dad
an
still
atlas.
has them. I forget what they're called, but like there's a brand. There's like actually a geocache challenge too. You have to like find a cache from every page of like one of these books. But like, you have like the different grids, and you can be like, My dad still has those. He doesn't use them anymore, but they're there in case of an emergency, like if you're stuck someplace without cell phone service or whatever.
No, we have an atlas of the United States, and we take it like on road trips, mostly because Frank is of a generation even before ours, and like he drove with maps, like legit drove with maps in like all the places, and likes to navigate that way. I mean, obviously we use GPS, but like that's kind of his preference. When we first moved to the US, he was like, we have to buy an atlas. Okay. And honestly, I don't think I ever really have like myself had to drive like that, because growing up, I lived in Montana. I know how to get to everything. And there's like one highway if you want to go to like the other cities. Like you're gonna be fine. Just get on I-90 and either go, east or west. You're good.
You'll end up
go
somewhere.
north or south. You're screwed. Just don't.
But it was very simple. And then I went to college and didn't drive during college because it was in a foreign country. And also Paris has wonderful public transportation. I remember navigating with I have a handheld little neighborhood by neighborhood.
City map. Yeah.
City map with the metro map and then neighborhood by neighborhood. And I was good at that. That's at a walking pace. And then we moved back. And again, we were in Montana. And then by the time we moved to California, there were smartphones. So I feel like I dodged a bullet.
There you go. Okay, the final one is actually by somebody who truly understood the assignment. What skill did you acquire in the 90s that you no longer use? Flipping my eyelids and armpit farts.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that when people would turn their eyelids inside
Yes.
out? That grossed
What
me
was
out
that about?
so much.
That would just be
What was that about?
Yeah, I think it was literally
It
just
looks like it hurts.
being gross.
Yeah, just being
I've
gross.
never actually done it, but I remember people doing it. Yes.
Yeah. And armpit farts, of course.
Yeah.
Speaking of, without getting too gross, but did you guys see the Jeremy Renner interview? Was it Kimmel or something?
Mm-mm.
Where he talked about all of his injuries after getting run over by a snowplow?
No.
Oh God, no.
Okay, it's really just the man should not be alive right now, and he is, and that is a testament, but his eye popped out.
Does he still have it?
Yeah.
And
I did not.
Can he still see through with it?
I don't know. I didn't watch the whole thing because I was just I have heard it. I'm going to though. I've gotten used to the idea now, so I'm I'm ready.
This is what is it called? Exposure therapy.
Right, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he broke a gazillion bones. He got run over by a freaking
I never looked into. I remember that happening. I remember seeing it in the news a couple of times. I never actually read the story because I'll pass.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So speaking of passing, I think it is time to pass on to a commercial break.
Hashtag transitions.
Thank you.
That was pretty baller. That was great. That was real good. That was real good.
Let's do that. We'll come back. We'll do the feedback. And yeah. All right. All right. We are back ready to get into some feedback. But before we start, I meant to share this in PO, and hopefully by the time this comes out, I will have remembered to. But I think everybody on here listening probably knows about the Republican war on the trans community and drag queens. Not the same community, but two different communities that they are. Culture wars. When you can't win in any other way, you might as well try to create fear because that's what terrible human beings do.
Pick fights.
Anyway, this group called RuPublicans on Instagram used AI to transform a bunch of Republican leaders into drag queens. I'll put the link in the show notes. It is freaking hilariously, amazingly incredible. I don't know which one is my favorite. It's a tie between the Lindsey Graham one. I don't even know. They're all great. It's just it's tough. The Mike Pence one is amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the name with Mike Pence is amazing.
I really like the Ted Cruz one too, which is a weird sentence to say.
Okay. So do we want to take turns reading the names of the drag names that they gave these leaders?
Yes.
Thank you, Republicans.
Yes.
Republicans. Publicans I can vote for.
Republican we can get behind.
I can start. We can do reverse match as she said order,
Okay.
which I think means me, Amanda, Shandy.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The Mitch McConnell one is Anita filibust her.
Cruzella DeVille is Ted Cruz.
So perfect.
I know.
They're all perfect. They're all perfect.
There's all of them.
Yeah. Lindsey Graham, Lady Graham Cracker, which one of the comments was like, yeah, but don't confuse her with like, there's an actual person called Lady Graham Cracker.
Oh, is
Is there?
Apparently.
Oh, I didn't know
Hey,
that.
Somebody
all the
was
good
like-
ideas are taken.
Somebody was like, Lindsey Graham could have just kept his name. And then somebody else was like, yeah, and that way he wouldn't be confused with like, and put a picture.
He could have just been Lady G, which
Yeah.
apparently is his actual his grinder name. So
Oh, Lord help us.
I feel like I maybe missed something. Did I miss something?
remember Lady G?
Yeah,
Do I?
We've totally talked about this. This was last
Okay.
or 2 4th of Julys ago,
Oh,
where the DC gay prostitute circus. It's always circus though. Somebody was like, I've had this longtime customer who has like moles all over his ass and wants to be called Lady G, and they're a lawmaker.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, Lindsey Graham," because who
All
else
right.
could it be? So now give her. I mean, sometimes stereotypes are bad, but in this case, it's true. So whatever. Okay, sorry. Where were we? Okay, the Clarence Thomas one is Cloretta Corrupta.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That is pretty good.
Perfect.
Bombshell Bannon would be a certain Steve Bannon.
I think there was a comment.
Even just an ugly lady.
Ugly lady.
Yeah, just
Ugly soul.
Yeah, inside,
Yes.
outside, the whole
Yes.
thing, the whole package, just unappealing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, what was it? I think somebody in the comments, I'm trying to scroll through real quick. It was like Bannon. They should have just called him like Bannon Drag or something. Shoot, I'm trying to just do. Oh, Bannon drag shows. Bannon.
Yeah.
That
That's
would have
good.
been clever.
The Josh Hawley one is All About Me. It was fucking perfect.
That is really fun.
The next one might be one of
This
my favorites.
Tickles me so much.
I didn't see this one the first time.
It's just so fucking good.
So Kevin McCarthy is Speaker Sparklebottom.
Sparklebottom.
Sparklebottom. Speaker Sparklebottom.
It's just so perfect.
And the picture is hilarious. Gold and purple. How could I not love it? Looking
My
like a
high school
character
colors.
from Zoolander.
Oh my god, so good, so good. Sorry, now I need to go back up to
But really, the Rudy one is the best, but we'll get to that.
Rhonda Shanty for Ron
Yeah.
DeSantis. I was like, it's fine.
The next one's going to make me laugh so hard.
I accidentally clicked on something else, and it's so hard.
Okay,
to
let me
pull
say
this
it
up
then.
on my phone for some reason. Oh, here we go.
Wait.
Mike Pence. I can never not now think when I hear Mike Pence to add of Hang Mike Pence fame.
Of Hang Mike Pence fame.
It's
That's what they
so funny.
That's what they do in Pod Save America. Anytime they mention Mike Pence's name, Amanda, they go, Mike Pence
know.
of Hang Mike
I
Pence
know.
fame.
I
Oh,
listen
sorry.
to it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I thought
I
you were
do.
strictly a daily kind of gal.
No, I listen to it. I diversify. I get my news from a wide range of sources.
Okay, so Mike Pence of Hang Mike Pence fame is Mother Pence. It's so good. It's just so good.
Whoever thought of that one was like, I got it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
But even just like the picture, the fact that like he's not wearing any
Oh.
drag makeup, like just the whole thing.
So great.
Like it's
So
just
great.
slam dunk across the board.
Uh-huh.
Just tens across the board.
Even AI knows Mike Pence of
Right.
Mike Pence fame. And then the final one is Rudy Giuliani, which I do maintain is the best picture out of all of them.
Oh my! And looking back at it, it was originally was not my favorite, but now upon further viewing, I agree.
it's Rudy Garland.
So good.
It just captures his very essence.
Yeah. And like I said,
So
I'll put
good.
this I'll put the link in the show notes. It's a Facebook link, but I will also put it in the Facebook group when I post the show links there in all 3 Facebook groups. But yeah, that was the laugh I needed today. I'm not kidding. So
Mhm.
spectacular.
So
Okay.
good.
Moving into feedback for real. John, the UPS guy, a former UPS guy, says, in keeping with Colleen saying, seeing Les Mis last week, 2 things I'm wondering. Did your show have the turntable? I've seen both versions, thought they were both great. And secondly, along the Les Mis theme, would it be funny if Trump went to jail in the New York case and he became prisoner 134000?
Nice.
So, okay, John, I did not have the turntable for this show, and you know what? Honestly, it was fine. There were a couple of moments where I missed it, like when the barricade spins around and you see like the aftermath. I missed it there. There was a couple of times where I thought, oh, this is definitely different. Some of the blocking, it was great. Like everyone was perfect. Like there was not a bad voice. There was not a bad, there was nobody that was like, they could have been better. Like everyone was spot on. It was absolutely fantastic. I cried my eyes out at all the appropriate places. Yeah, I'm so happy that we got to see it. And yeah, so yeah. And again, turntable, it was fine. It was totally fine without it. So and then John continues, I watched Everything Ever All at Once and thought it stunk. So far, everyone in my age bracket that I know hated it, but everyone under 45 loved it. It's amazing, such a different perspective on this movie based on age. Given, I don't want to spoil it for Shandy, but given the themes, the generational themes of the movie, I could see why there might be a difference in generational favor of it.
Well, and I will say, Frank watched the movie and he didn't understand why it won so many awards.
Really?
Interesting.
So he might be onto something here.
Yeah, we might be. We'll find out what you thought. Don't watch it with Frank then, okay?
No. Well, I'm not, because he didn't, particularly love it the first time, so he's not going to rewatch it. So I need to find a time when we're not both at home together, because when that happens,
tell him to go running for 2 hours. Be like, go on a 2-hour run.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to talk about it next week. And then finally, John says, one last thing. I was surprised to find one of the broadcast hosts patronizes Chick-fil-A due to their anti-LGBTQ stance. Well, as I said last week, yes, I know. Maybe it wasn't the greatest choice, but it's literally the closest thing to my house. And I thought I was going to vomit before and after I bought it. So maybe also, that was a shame on me.
To be fair, so many, and I think sometimes they're just less public, but so
a lot of
many
the
establishments.
Yeah.
A lot of establishments, a lot of
donate
companies
to shitty people and have shitty stances.
Donate to everyone.
Yeah. So what are you to do? We as an individual consumer.
Right.
It's rough.
Right.
You could look at I don't know, you have your Hobby Lobbies that are staunchly we're only going to donate right. But if you look at your big companies like Apple, Google, Chick-fil-A, probably, but all of them donate to so many different groups to keep their political interests alive, and it's disgusting. But that's business.
And they all suck because capitalism sucks.
So,
but
yeah. And I didn't feel great about it, but I also was just desperate times. I just wanted to literally sat there in the driver's seat and was like, please just give me my food so I can go home.
I will say I've had Chick-fil-A once because it was bought for us at work.
Yeah.
And everyone was so excited. And it was the first time I was eating it. And I was just like, wow, these people have really shitty stances and the food's disgusting. Although, what was I expecting?
I think Chick-fil-A tastes fine. I don't have a problem with how it tastes.
Yes. I mean, it's fast food.
It's fast
food. So, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
But I think it's also the hype of it, because it's like, I remember when Chick-fil-A came to New York and just like lines around the block, and it's like, I mean, granted, I don't eat chicken, but the waffle fries I thought were
but is it really chicken?
right. I was
I think it is
underwhelmed by the waffle fries.
Jokes.
They
I do think it
They
is.
weren't even seasoned, which I suppose
Oh.
is everything you need to know about their stance as a brand.
I do love the waffle fries when they're nice and hot. I think the big thing with Chick-fil-A is their sauces are really good. Like, I genuinely love Chick-fil-A sauce. We get it from Target, and when we make chicken nuggets at home, like that's what Zach zips his stuff in. Yeah, no, I genuinely love Chick-fil-A sauce. So I think that part of it, and their ranch is different than store ranch, and I will say I like their ranch better too. So I think part of the hype is like when you're dipping your chicken nuggets into a seasoning, it just tastes better than like if you're dipping it into the sauce from like Wendy's or McDonald's or Burger King. I don't know.
Okay.
If John, if you have, and this is an actual favor that I'm asking you, kind of homework, kind of just like in conversation, but if you know any companies like that actually don't like donate like at all to groups that are bad, let me know so that way we can patronize them. Patronize. Isn't patronizing also like
being patronizing?
Yeah. But yeah, if you could, please let us know. That'd be awesome.
Patronize, we can patronize. I think it's patronize. Yeah.
I think it is patronize because a patron.
Yeah,
a patron,
exactly,
patronizing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you want to, you can Patreonize us.
Yeah. Oh, Patreonize us.
But
I love that. And then Brian, the DP specialist, said poop PS, which I believe he was commenting on. We were talking about, because they also talked about this ironically on the Rumblecast After Dark, because they all caught up on Ted Lasso, and how Jamie says poupe. And last week we were talking about being in the sewers, and I referenced Jamie saying poupe.
Damn it, that's another show that I need to catch up on still. We talked about it last time, but
yeah. It's good.
Yeah. It's good. I didn't love last week's, but
I did. I like where it sort of moved our story.
And that's where I got to by the end of it, because my sister was very down, and then I was like trying to talk myself through it, and then that's where I got to. I was like, you know what? Every season has, like, when you're trying to finish a story and you have to get to your end game, like you have to sometimes have those episodes where you don't love what happens, but it pushes you over the hump to get to like that, home stretch.
Yeah.
And I feel like, that's where we solidly got to like the top of the hill, and now
running up that hill.
Running up that hill. Made a deal with God.
All the way to the bank.
Made a deal with Lady Sparklebottom.
So good. Mother pens.
Anyway, okay. We have a voicemail from Maggie. So let's play that, and then we'll finish up with the Master She Said. Here we go.
Hey, Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen. It's Maggie. I meant to call this in for last week's show, but I forgot. New job is going really well. I'm a front desk office manager person for a tech company that does federal contracting. It's much closer to home, much more casual with dress. Really liking it. It's going really well. So thanks. And I am totally excited for the Barbie movie. The trailer looks awesome. I am kind of obsessed with the scene where she steps out of her shoes and her feet are still like she's in shoes, the way the Barbie shoes are. I don't understand how they did that, and I saw something that I think it was Chrissy Teigen or somebody else was like, I need to know everything about this shot. How did they do that? Like, it is amazing, because she just steps out of the shoes and her foot is still up there, which is that Barbie high heel thing. That, yeah. Can't wait for the Barbie movie. We're talking about shoes. Like, I hate wearing dress shoes. I have to do flats. Luckily, I can wear tennis shoes at work, and I keep some flats at my desk. Colleen, does the dryer sheets in the summer, like, for your sister to keep all like in her pockets and in her bra to keep mosquitoes away. I will literally try anything to keep mosquitoes away, and I've not tried that one yet. Does that work? I must know. Matt has talked about Daisy Jones and the Six. I like Daisy Jones and the Six. I loved the book. I liked the show. I want to love the show, but I just don't. It's just, there's something kind of missing in it. Not quite gritty, I guess, enough. And Daisy just doesn't go off the rails as much as she does in the book. But I love the music, and I forgot her name. Riley, what's last name? I forgot her last name. Riley is so amazing as Daisy. But it's just a little too PG-13, and it needs to be R. That's, I think, what it is. So I hope you ladies are well. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I am going to go see Les Mis on Tuesday at the Kennedy Center. Colleen just saw it, and I'm going too. And I've never seen it in the theater. So I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Wait, I got another call. Wait. Bye. I thought I was hanging up on y'all, and I hung up on my other call. All right.
Goodbye.
Oh my God, I love it.
Best call ever.
Oh my God, so funny.
So good.
So yeah, it was Chrissy Teigen that talked about the Barbie high heel shot. And I actually thought about that when I was in Pure Bar the other day, where we had to go in our high heels and we had to like on our tippy toes. And I was like, I think whoever did this actually probably realistically, if they did bar classes, could do that shot. But I agree, they were probably just holding on to something. And it definitely wasn't Margot Robbie's feet. But it's super cool shot. The dryer sheets thing, my sister uses them all the time. I will ask her again and text you, but yeah, she swears by them. Nobody else has watched Daisy Jones, right? Yet?
No.
I think it's Riley Keough. Is that how you say it, Amanda?
I think
Riley
so.
Keough?
It's Lisa Marie's daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Keough.
And then enjoy Les Mis.
Yeah. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Kennedy Center in a boot.
Ooh.
You.
Okay, let's finish up with the That's What She Said.
I understand this is the beginning of a very long process, and that motherfucker may die before it even happened.
That's not so much a That's What She Said as a statement of fact.
Right. Yeah, basically. They're trying to pack in everything they can.
I don't understand how it's still on.
If it's not served here, it makes the other two much harder. They're talking about whiskey. They're talking about whiskey there.
Ah.
Oh, that was a joke. I don't know what they were actually. I can't remember. If it's not served here, okay. Anyway,
I had 2 very healthy slices.
Ooh. I don't know why I did this.
I generally don't want it after I've eaten.
That's fair.
Bloating.
Yeah. Gas, it's
Digestion, maybe.
not great. I have knee pads and a helmet.
I've only been in 1 or 2 that look like that.
You'll have choices this way, that way, this way.
I am dying to go into a New York City one.
Oh, I would have given him a gag order so hard.
I bet you would.
Oh yeah. How hard was it? Oh, speaking of Amanda.
Yes.
I watched the first few episodes that are out of Schmigadoon season 2.
Yeah, so good, right?
Episode 2 has a Cell Block Tango reference.
I know.
So
It was so
fun.
fun tango, and it was like the dance from the opening
The
of
Razzle
Chorus
Dazzle.
Line.
Yes.
Oh, Razzle Dazzle. They haven't gotten-
Razzle.
No.
So,
is episode 3 out yet? I've only seen the first 2.
No, it's in the second one. It's when he has the press conference and like Jenna Maroney, what's her name in real life? Anyway, her.
Yeah.
She's like, it says like the picture on the wall says like not razzle dazzle, but something similar that rhymes.
Oh.
And then she talks about how you have to basically razzle dazzle them and like sings a song, but she doesn't use razzle dazzle, but
Okay.
like the song is based on it.
Oh.
And she does the this thing, like when she walks.
The Fosse
Yeah,
move.
yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
It's so the whole thing is so, and like I love the sort of Pippin opening number.
The Pippin opening number was amazing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like Titus Burgess, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, I think
Titus
so.
Burgess. Like how is he not in the first season? He's like the perfect addition. It's like
I
he should have always been there from Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should have always been, but he plays the
It's-
narrator in this scene, or the season rather.
Yeah.
And
Or what do they call him? The guide or something? Or do they call him the narrator?
I think they call him the narrator.
Okay. Yeah, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous so far.
So
I
good.
think there's only 2 episodes out.
Yeah, I think they
Yeah.
drop on Wednesdays. They might drop on Tuesdays actually. So we might be gifted with a new episode as of recording this right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I definitely like this season better because I get the references more. Like
Gotcha.
the golden era of musicals. It's like I like it as much as any musical theater nerd does, but like I feel like I get every single reference in this season, and a lot of the first season was just.
I got a lot of the first season references. I can't answer the question yet though until I see the whole season. I have to see that as a whole.
Okay.
I had forgotten about some things and some like characters. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah,
Can't wait
but
to
even
watch
just
the new
like
one.
some of the camera shots, it's like, oh my
Mhm.
god, that's from like Cabaret the movie, and it's like,
Oh yeah, there was one Cabaret the movie reference, and Jay was like, "I get this now," and I was like, "Yeah," and you only saw like 3/4 of the movie.
Right. Oh, the movie is so good. Daniel has never seen it, and he's like, I do. I feel like I have to see that movie. I'm like, yes, you
Yeah.
do. Yes, you do.
Yeah, but anyway, okay, good times, ladies. It's been fun. Thank you all for playing. Thanks everybody that's listening. If you have any feedback on anything we talked about tonight, or anything you want us, Ask Abroads is, we're still here. If you need any advice on anything,
It's true.
give
We
us
haven't gotten a juicy. Yeah.
yeah,
It's true.
give us a holler. The broadcasters 3@gmail.com or 331-276-2373, or leave it in the Facebook group, or whatever. You know how to reach us. Congratulations to Kate on the birth of Shamandaline's little brother. Couple of weeks. I believe he was born on Jay's birthday, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
Birthday buddy.
Birthday buddies. I think so. March 27th. So congratulations. We're very excited. Whenever you are feeling up to it, and maybe hopefully listening to this episode, you could write us in, give us some details. Woohoo! Congratulations.
Yay.
Very excited.
yay.
Thank you to the patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/JayandJack. Especially thank you to the patrons that contribute to a certain level, and that would be Eckhart Wiener, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, and Ed, the creepy poopy head mailman. And check out some of the other shows on the network: Survivor JJC, the Ramblecast After Dark. We're all here, ready to have some fun. Anyway, on that note, does anybody else have anything? Otherwise, we will see you all next week to talk about everything, everywhere, all at once.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
All right. Well, on that note, my name is Colleen.
My name is Amanda.
And I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.